TV. This is your Thursday Club video. We're looking back at last night's win at the Den against Plymouth Argyle, and we're looking ahead to Saturday's away trip to face Swansea in sunny South Wales. As always, let's wind it back to yesterday and take a look at the starting 11 that Neil Harris picked to start the match. And the gaffer went with two changes from the team that drew 1-1 also at the Den against Derby on Saturday. Mihailo Ivanovic came in to replace Macaulay Langstaff, and Duncan Watmore dropped out the squad altogether. Waiting to hear a little bit more on that one, and he was replaced by Femi Aziz. The Langstaff one was definitely one that wasn't met with great comments on our live stream on social media. People saying we should have stuck with Langstaff. I do get that. I thought he's trying to be a little bit more direct yesterday and stick it on the opposition a little bit more. That didn't really pan out for us. Difficult one yesterday, look, but at the end of the day, we got 3 points. It wasn't the most exciting game that I've ever seen. I've been more entertained in recent games that we haven't won. I thought we played better against Luton. I felt we definitely played better against Derby. But what you've got to look at is it was a bit of a Neil Harris special last night. Don't concede, get the job done one way or the other. And you can't knock the fact that we've played 2 games in 4 days. We've got 4 points from that. I think it's, as I said, 10 from our last 14 points available at the Den. You can't knock it. You absolutely cannot knock it. And as I said, Derby not really having a shot on target other than that effort that sort of bubbled in somehow. And then yesterday, Plymouth had 1 header, I think, in the first half, which was a great cross. Their striker had a good opportunity to head in, and luckily for us, he headed it straight at Lucas Jensen. The intensity definitely wasn't there yesterday. The fight, the fire from the off, and I can't help but feel when maybe we shouldn't look to these things, but the crowd was clearly down. The game was on Sky, and I've got to say, by the way, fair play to Plymouth, because I didn't think they'd bring many. They had the entire lower tier. They had about 50% of the upper tier. They absolutely packed it and sung their hearts out. And as we know, well, I definitely do, because I've been to Plymouth. It's a fucking long way away with the game on Sky Sports Plus as well. Fantastic travelling support from Plymouth. Unfortunately for them, unfortunately for us, their fans couldn't give them a lot to cheer about. But I said last night in my full-time reaction, within 5 minutes, they had a penalty appeal, or got a penalty. It was actually 25 seconds into the game. On reflection of the highlights now today, never a penalty in a million years. The guys took a dive. Saville did take a bit of a fresh air shot, but he's nowhere near the bloke who's gone down. The ref couldn't wait to give a penalty, and then he definitely did give a penalty. Okay, that's what I'm getting from it, especially again watching the highlights back today. He's given a penalty, but then after a little bit of time, their players were high-fiving, their fans are celebrating. He's looked across. I didn't see it because I was too distraught that the penalty had been given. The lino at left-back position has given an offside. So in which case, the guy who won the penalty, he's come back from an offside position. He wasn't fouled anyway, but the ref thought he was given a penalty. But in that instance now, he's offside. That still didn't kick us into gear, and Plymouth did continue to come forward. We couldn't really complete any passes. Our players didn't really seem on the same wavelengths at time. And you just think, just get to that little level. You know, even get to the level that we was at against Derby, and we can get this over the line. Maybe the players were a little bit nervous. It was a high-pressure game last night, and I'll get on to the Swansea preview in a minute, but a win for us Saturday will take us 3 points from the playoffs. A loss could take us into the relegation zone. So it's very, very tight. We still haven't lost a game by more than a 1-goal margin all season, and I think it's a professional result, a result that was needed, and a performance that we didn't rip any trees down. But we got the job done, restricted our opposition from no shots. And I like what Kenny said earlier in his video. That will follow on after this one, if you haven't seen it already. You know, what were we expecting? Plymouth come to town off the back of a 5-0 drubbing. Wayne Rooney needs to sort that out. He's back in the dugout, and he didn't get any abuse last night. That's how I knew it was quiet at the Den. I was expecting him to get dogs abuse, but he didn't get any. But he would have needed a reaction from his team. And he got it in sorts. I think Kenny's right what he says. He would have gone there and said, right, let's not get fucking hammered today. Let's get a bit of stability back. So to try and break teams down, I see it all the time. You know, teams will go to Man City and they'll, for example, Wolves went 1-0 up against Man City, and then Man City equalised, and then Man City, to try and break Wolves down, I know Wolves are much better defensively than Plymouth were, but you've got to see what's relevant to your level. And if a team sits in their shape and want to defend that goal, it's very, very difficult to break them down. We did eventually break them down. Romain Esse, along with Jules Saville, along with Casper Denor and Joe Bryan, they seem to turn teams over so often now. Ryan Leonard does it as well, but a bit further back. Those boys seem to do it in more attacking areas. And Romain Esse comes from behind a player, reaches round him, wins the ball. Their fans want to foul. Ref says no. Game goes on. Esse travels. And it's a little bit what I said, with the Ivanovic goal. Before that, I used to say, players make the wrong decisions or they make the right decisions but get the ball wrong. In this occasion, I thought Esse was going to shoot. I did shout shoot in the live stream. He doesn't do that. He waits for Honeyman to get beyond a run, which we all know I love. Players getting beyond and taking chances and getting into the box. And he finds him. And then fair play to Honeyman. I always say he's got no quality. It's as calm as anything. Back to Esse, who just sweeps it in on his right foot, head down, hit the target, don't smash it. And in reality, it might be harsh on the Plymouth back line / the goalkeeper. They probably should have stopped it between the three of them that were on the goal line. They didn't, luckily for us. And it just shows that if you keep your composure, keep your head down, make sure you hit the target, you get the rewards. And Romain Esse scores, I think, his 4th goal of the season. Not sure if that includes the Portsmouth Cup goal. I'm sure a lot of you will let me know in the comments what his exact total is. But even on the commentary that I watched this morning, he just said, made it look so easy. And by that point, that's the first goal of the night in the Championship. Plymouth also had a penalty that's been given and then get disallowed. And after that, the game did fizzle out a bit. There wasn't a lot of excitement. There wasn't a lot of creativity and attacking ideas and good patterns of play and chances created. I did think a little bit last night, if I'm honest. I thought it was a little bit boring at points. And it reminded me a bit of a Gary Rowett tenure match where I used to walk away and be really bored after. And I would say this is probably the most least entertaining game I've seen at home of the last 5, but I'm absolutely not complaining. Sometimes needs must, and we score a goal. We're very good in our shape. We sit lovely and compact, and we travel around the pitch as a defensive unit and said to Plymouth, come and break us down if you think you can. And they couldn't. Second half, we did start quite well. We forced a lot of corners. We forced a lot of opportunities. Japhet Tanganga makes a beautiful long diag for Femi Aziz. Aziz gets in. I was harsh on him in real time because I've watched it back. He was under challenge from a couple of defenders, manages to sort of half get out his feet, and he gets the shot off at goal. And I've got to say, I was harsh on him in real time. It's a fucking really good save. If he goes on the ground, it's probably a goal, yes. But he goes just slightly off the ground. The goalkeeper gets his hand up and makes a fantastic stop. And then he carries his momentum through. 2 Plymouth defenders on the line, and between them, they manage to scramble the ball away under the watchful eye and efforts from Femi Aziz. I'm going to comment on Aziz now. Again, this will be the same with Langstaff. He needs games. Give him an opportunity. He's come off the bench a couple of times. He started in the No One Gives a Shit Cup against Leyton Orient. He fell over for their goal. All right, he's a young player that's cost us money. He's a permanent Millwall player that we've gone out and bought for quite good money in our terms. So let's give him a chance. He needs a run of games. And I will say this for Aziz. I thought he played well last night. Not everything he did come off. But what we need, we all moan we don't score enough goals and no one does this, no one does that. Well, and hopefully he can take a free kick as well, because Joe Bryan, George Saville and George Honeyman definitely can't take direct free kicks at goal. We've worked that one out. So get Aziz on the free kicks or Esse. Just work your way through the team, Gaffer, until you find someone that can hit the fucking target as a professional footballer. Anyway, Aziz, look, he is willing to get on the ball. He's willing to show what he's got. He's willing to take those chances. He knows if he tries to take someone on and he fucks that up, he knows he's going to get pelters from the fans. But he doesn't care. He's got belief in his own ability. He's still got the confidence to try those things. So don't get on Aziz's bollocks, in my opinion. Get on the bollocks of people who get the ball and go, fuck that, I don't want it. 2 yards, let someone else make a mistake. Let someone else take the bollocking from the fans. And I strongly believe that with a run of games, he will do well for us. Let's not forget as well, Duncan Watmore, I think this is his 2nd injury already this season. We don't know what's happened or whether his illness or what. But he wasn't in the squad last night. So obviously, one of those previous stated is obviously the reason behind that. But I think what is Watmore now? 28, 29-ish. Could be wrong on that one. But Aziz, this is what I like about Neil Harris and the rebuild. It takes time. It takes time to do a rebuild. Last season was last season. And what happened, had to happen. And we did it. Right? That all finished. Loanees went back. Permanent Millwall players are now at the club. A lot of them are young players that we paid money for, and big money in our terms. I'm talking Aziz, I'm talking Ivanovic and others, Tanganga. All under 25, Jensen, we'll get on to him in a bit. So let's not get on Harris's bollocks, okay? Look, he knows this division too well for us to go down. We are not going down in a million years, right? We will be all right. I don't think we'll get to where we potentially could in a couple of years with this same group of players, because they're young. Daniel Kelly as well has come in, and we're working towards something, but that's not going to happen overnight. But for me, Aziz done really well last night. I don't get when people get on his bollocks when he tries something that doesn't come off. Yes, he probably should have scored that one, and I think if he had played 7-8 games leading up to that, and he was in full swing, he would have scored. After that, again, come and break us down if you think you can, which they couldn't, and we looked solid at the back. Jensen rarely troubled, which was a good thing, which I'm going to move on to now. The corner right at the death. I've watched it back on the highlights this morning, and he has a fucking go at Cooper after the event. Obviously, and then it bounces out and a couple of shots and it goes over the bar and it's relief and we get the game won. I did say in my preview, he's a very good shot stopper, but he is a little bit like the Danish Dracula. He don't like crosses. He has fumbled it. Now, we don't know. We can't be sure if there was a call. You know, when I was a keeper, if I'm shouting keepers and I'm coming and my defender's getting in the way, then I'm bollocking the life out of him. He may have called by his reaction to Cooper. I think he did call. However, did Cooper hear him in I was going to say a packed stadium, a lot of noise going on around. You know, it's difficult to know. But, yeah, it is a little bit... He's a bit flappy and it crosses. And, again, he needs a run of games, which he has had. I think that's 11 starts for him now in the Championship. But, again, his first season in the Championship. He's a young goalkeeper. He's, again, last night, got a clean sheet, albeit, okay, didn't have loads to do. But... let's stick with it. We have got Liam Roberts there. I do take on board again. I'll put Kenny's video in after this one, the link at the end. It'll come on the screen. I do take on board what Kenny says, you know. Jensen, you've been booked as number 1. Liam Roberts, you're number 2. Why is that? Let them have the competition for places like everyone else has to have. But look, we get the game won. And as I said, it wasn't that exciting, was it? There wasn't loads and loads of major talking points. There weren't loads of chances created. But 4 points at home in the last 2 games... we could have asked for 6, of course we could, but realistically, 4 will do. Harris has seen what's happened at Derby. Right, not happy with that. Make sure tonight, all that happens, we go out there, we get the 3 points. We keep a clean sheet, we get the 3 points. If we get one chance, we take it, and that's pretty much what's happened. So the game plan did work. Success, in my opinion, like someone said in the live stream, you get 46 1-0s over the season. We will be absolutely laughing. We move up to 13th place in the table, and we move on to Saturday's away trip to face Swansea in South Wales. Managed by Luke Williams, Swansea City currently sit on exactly the same games as us and exactly the same points. As I said, a win for us could see us go within 3 points of the top 6. A loss could see us drop into the relegation zone. So once again, even though we've gone boom, we've gone up, and on Tuesday night, obviously we haven't played, and at one point Coventry were 1-0 up against QPR and everyone was going, we're fucked. We're fucked, we're in the bottom 3, we're fucked. Let's not worry about too much the league table. We're going to keep picking up points. We're going to be competitive in every single game we play. So let's not shit our pants just yet, is what I'm saying. In their last 5 league games, Swansea City are without a win. They have drawn 2 and lost 3, and they also have not scored in their last 4 league games. So you know exactly what's going to happen here, don't you? Let's move on to a prediction. And so, this is your pre-match prediction. And here we go. Before I saw Swansea's recent form, I was going to go for a 0-0 draw. However, I don't think I'm going to do that. Then I toyed, I'm doing a league chit here. Then I toyed with going for a win. But I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw with Jake Cooper to get our goal. Of course, I hope we get the win. But I think Swansea probably, after not scoring in 4, will do a Cardiff and get their first win of the season. We'll do a Derby and get their first away point of the season. They will do a Swansea now against Millwall and they're going to score their first goal in 5 league games. I'll go for Jake Cooper to get our goal and Swansea to level it up in a 1-1 draw, and it's a point on the road I will absolutely take. And so that's your lot for this Thursday Club. I hope that you have enjoyed it. Please be sure to check out the fan score predictions from the other boys at Lions TV. That's going to go out about 10 a.m. hopefully tomorrow, if not around lunchtime. And all that's left for me to say is, am I going to Swansea? I don't know, actually. I texted the Terminator earlier on. I asked him if he was going. I swore to never go to Wales or to another away game with him, an overnight one with him, and it wasn't his fault, it was mine. Again, after Cardiff. But I can't help myself, really. If I have to do it, I'll do it. If he's going, I'll probably go. If he's not, then I'll be live streaming from Lions TV Towers from around the 2:30 p.m. mark on Saturday. And then, of course, there's a little 8-day break until we play Burnley at the Den next Sunday. Ian Fleming will not be available for that game, by the way, in case anyone asks in the comments, as he is technically currently on loan from us to Burnley. But Swansea's the one. 3 points would be lovely. I'll absolutely take a point right now. And whether I see you in Swansea or I see you for the live stream, enjoy the rest of your week. Please subscribe to Lions TV. Come on, you Lions.